What is going on, y'all? Robert Sykes, KetoSavage.com. Welcome to week 10 of the Keto Bulk Vlog Update series. So, 10 weeks in post-reverse diet. Did reverse diet for 20 weeks. 10 weeks now into the building phase. And I'm pretty much going bear mode, for lack of a better term, this week. Bear mode being defined, well, not really. I'm having some constraints. So I would define bear mode as pretty much eating all things in sight, eating past the point of satiety. I have not eaten past the point of satiety. I've pretty much eaten until satiety most days this week. So that has been kind of what's been going on from a hunger satiety standpoint. My average caloric intake, let's just hop into my chronometer dashboard here. So my intake, this is of the whole year from January to now. This block here was, again, when I did that 85-hour fast or whatever. But as you can see, this line is 4,000 calories, and I've been pretty much just shy of that most of this past week. I had one day that was above that. I think I hit like 5,200 or so on Father's Day, and I had like one day at 4,200. But for the most part, I would say my average intake has been about 4,000 calories. Going into the past few weeks, I've tried to maintain between 3,000 and 4,000, barring a one refeed a week. Higher calorie intake day a week. So I've been averaging about 4,000 calories, and my weight is holding relatively stable at about 195. I have not yet hit 200. I have not hit 200 in years. So I don't know if I'll hit that or not. I would be shocked if I did, but I also wouldn't be shocked if I did based off of just how my body's been responding. So I've been averaging about 195, and there'll be days where I weigh 192, 193. There'll be days where I weigh 197. This is my weight trend here, and you could see, again, I didn't start using chronometer until here recently, but on January 17th, I was 166, and now I woke up today at 196.5. So definitely on the higher end of that, but again, don't know if I'll hit 200 or not. And with a build phase, we could go super deep into this, but with a build phase, my philosophy is I am fine pushing the calories, I am fine pushing the weight, I am fine pushing the body fat as long as I am seeing progress in the gym. If I am not seeing my strength markers improve, if I'm not seeing muscle being added, then you've hit the point of diminishing returns and you are causing more harm than good, because you just have to diet that much more aggressively to take that body fat off. And if you're not adding more strength or lean tissue, what's the point of putting more body fat on? However, that has not been the case for me yet. I have continually gotten stronger with each week that's passed. I have not had a training plateau, and all of my lifting markers have improved pretty consistently from the get-go. So I am fine pushing the needle on the body fat and the calories a bit more. Now, I definitely feel some adverse responses to the heavier weight. From a cardiovascular standpoint, I've continued to do my 1 day a week on the stairmaster at level 15 for 25 minutes. That's been no issue whatsoever. I feel totally energized and powerful doing that, so I don't feel like my cardiovascular is taking a hit. And I've also maintained one trail run day a week as well, doing a pretty technical trail run at a pretty reasonable pace up a mountainside, and I don't really feel hindered there from a cardiovascular conditioning standpoint. However, I can tell that my knees aren't loving the extra weights all that much, especially when I do a run. So I will want to start dropping a little bit of weight as we get closer into preparation for the 50-mile march and for hunting season, because carrying an extra 20 pounds on my frame during that setting is it's definitely not optimal. So I will probably cut a little bit of weight in preparation for that March, which is the end of August, and hunting season throughout the months of September, October. But until then, I'm probably going to push the needle at least for another week or two on this, relatively aggressive build phase. Again, my body's pretty much been averaging 4,000 calories and maintaining a weight of around 195. So I will probably start reestablishing a baseline and playing around with intakes in the month of July. Again, I'm going to just try and take the rest of this month and go through any of the primal cuts that I have in the freezer, lamb chops, pork chops, meat on the bone, a little bit harder to track. I'm just going to take the rest of this month and get that out of the freezer. Starting in July, I'll get things dialed in. I'll be able to track with more precision, probably go back to actually meal prepping because I like that degree of accuracy. But up to this point, I've been feeling great, and I've got no complaints. Definitely putting on some body fat, though. Here's some current pictures that were taken. You can tell that I'm putting on some body fat. But again, all of my strength markers have been improving as well, so I can't really complain there. And as long as I'm seeing that strength marker improve, I'm fine to embrace that little bit of extra body fat. To give y'all some perspective here, this is my workout app, and this is my volume graph on bench press. So as you can see, it's been consistently going up. This is my volume graph on hip thrust. It has been consistently going up. And this is my volume graph on, I believe, sumo deadlifts. Sumo deadlifts. And it has consistently been going up. So all of my lifting metrics have been increasing. And this is just 3 of the multiple exercises I do. This continual increase is pretty much steady across the board on all of my lifts. So I've got no complaints there. I feel like I'm recovering from my training session. I feel like I'm tackling it with intensity, and I've got no complaints there. So I'm going to keep pushing the needle on the food, and we'll see if I hit 200 or not. I'm not really trying to hit 200. I'm just trying to give my body all that it's asking for as my lifts are going up, basically. And in the past, when I'm in an aggressive build phase, I force feed almost, and I have not felt like I've been force feeding at all. I feel like my body's been willingly taking in all that I've been giving it, and I've only been giving it the highest quality food. So even while I am putting on some body fat, my body is getting everything it needs from a nutritional standpoint as well, from a micronutrient, from a macronutrient, from a protein, fat, everything standpoint. It's been getting what it needs. I've also been trying to sleep a little bit more. All throughout the prep, I probably averaged about 4.5 hours a night was my average, which is far from optimal. That's going to wreak havoc on your hormones, your hunger, your recovery. It's just the baddest you can get. I probably shaved years off my life doing that. So this past week, I have actively tried to sleep more. Again, it's only been a week, but I feel like my body is fully embracing that, and that may also be part of the reason my strength has also improved and recovery has not taken a hit. So we will try and maintain relatively decent and acceptable sleep quantities going forward. But that is a wrap on week 10. I've got a lot to talk about as it pertains to the start of July. I've got a transformation challenge that I'm going to be hosting. I'm going to be kind of going alongside with y'all, not from a crazy cut standpoint because I'm not in a cut, but I'm going to be documenting part of that, helping you along the way, and I'm going to be kind of rolling that into my building phase. So lots to talk about there. That will all be happening in the 1st of July. So up until then, we're basically just getting all the primal cuts eaten, all of the aggressive caloric surplus taken care of, and then just trying to see what my stats are from a lifting standpoint to establish a good baseline up to that point in the beginning of July. So thank you all for tuning in. This is week 10. We will see you next week for week 11.